Happy Wednesday, Straight Up Tennessee family. It is Wednesday and it is time for the midweek chat, man. A lot of good news heading out of fall camp between Tuesday's practice and today's practice number 5 and number 6. The biggest news of all is that Boo Carter has returned to camp fully as a full participant, locked in groups, in individuals, in team periods, getting ready now for the 2025 season. What does this mean for the defense? What does this mean for Boo Carter? What does this mean for us as a football program? Even further than that, obviously there's a lot of still speculation and things going on with the quarterback battle. I have some raw not 100% accurate numbers, but man, we got a lot to dive into tonight, and it is going to be a great one. To finish up, man, we're going to do an offensive fantasy football draft. We're going to take a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a tight end from the 2000s to now. This is going to be a wild one, man. I can't wait. Let's tap in tonight, man, for some fall camp updates. It's going to be a great night. I got my guy Dylan with me, man. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Ruck in the building. Welcome to the midweek chat. It's Straight Up Tennessee, baby. Let's get it.
Tennessee's the program to keep an eye on. If you want to know which program that's not currently at the head table of college football, it's Tennessee.
Now Meshack's got to go. A fire! Fire! Wins it! July Meshack wins it! He needs a strike. Burton needs a bolt. Swing and a miss! And for the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball.
Yo, Straight Up Tennessee family, what's happening? Welcome to the midweek chat. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. It's the top of the show. Y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and join the channel, man. It's very simple. Those 4 things do a lot for us. But the one thing that you can do right now that does a ton for the show and does a ton for the YouTube page is subscribe and comment and just like this thing. Like the video. It pushes out. The algorithms are stupid on here, and if you're liking this thing, it is getting out to more Vol fans just like you and I. But Dylan, what's goody, my boy? Happy Wednesday, dog.
What's going on, man? We're one day closer.
24 days, boy. It's my boy Todd Kelly Jr. days out until it's football time in Tennessee, man. People I don't think people realize how good TK was. I think there was like so many underlying things that he was able to do. I think about the Oklahoma game in 2015, massive pick there in the third quarter to kind of get momentum back on the side of Tennessee, makes a huge play. Obviously, we still don't win that game because Baker Mayfield was just on a completely different level then. And he also had Sterling Shepard, who was a great receiver in his time there at Oklahoma. But man, TK did a lot for the Vols, but he also has now done a whole lot more outside of being a football player. Obviously, he started the TKJ Foundation, which is a foundation that helps a lot of the inner city kids here in Knoxville just see that there's more to life than the drugs and alcohol and violence. And he's done football camps here. He does one every year in the summer in July. I'm proud of him and what he's been able to accomplish. He's raising a great family, and he's the definition of giving his all for Tennessee, because he literally had to medically retire because of injuries there his junior and senior years. And so, he switched his number from 6 to 24 in honor of Xavion Dobson, who was shot and killed here in Knoxville while protecting 2 young ladies from gunfire. And so TK's he's a Knoxvillian. Like, he is a true Knoxvillian, but he's also all Vol. And so shout out to my guy TK, my boy. I love you, man. And so man, it's gonna be a fun night, bro. It's gonna be a fun night. I think a lot of the practice updates, a lot of the insights out there so far between the last couple of days have been big. Let me give a shout out to my guy Ian Pickett in the chat. What's happening, Ian? He says 24 days left. Hey man, we made it, bro. I feel like we've made it. I feel like you're now basically a little more than 3 weeks away.
Yep.
And we still don't know who our starting quarterback is.
Bro, it's scary. But at the same time, I feel like it's a good thing because if we don't know, don't nobody else know. So
exactly.
Yeah.
It's twofold, I think. It's twofold. It's like, okay, we don't know, which is annoying in itself, but then also no one else does. And I mean, the only people that know what's going on in that room is who is in that locker room, offense, defense, and coaching staff. And so I wouldn't want it any other way. If you do have a quarterback battle at this type of magnitude, at this type of university, who is honestly on the come up right now. And I don't know, man. It makes me nervous, but I am still excited for really both of them, man. I'm excited for Jake. I'm excited for Joey. And I mean, you know, listening to Josh and Swain earlier today, man, Jason Swain makes it seem like you can't really count GMAC out yet. And that's also something that we got to remember. Like the kid was a 5-star who then, you know, in different outlets, whatever you go, whenever you watch, he was knocked to a 4-star soon after he committed to Tennessee, which is what recruiting sites love to do to Tennessee players, I guess. But they didn't do that with my man Gabriel Senda. You know, he was a 3-star, now he's a 5. So cool with that. I'm cool with that. So
for sure.
Man, obviously biggest news so far of the day, of the week, really, is that Boo returned to practice on Tuesday. Tennessee was off on Monday. He returned to practice on Tuesday, and he was dressed out in full shells like the team, hat and shoulder pads, and was practicing with the team. I will say this, Dylan, I don't know how much of the highlights and everything that you've watched over the last day or so. He did look a little like unenthusiastic on Tuesday. The movements through drills were very lackadaisical, not seeming like, and I bet it's just awkward right now. I bet it's still just awkward, but I did see from the practice highlights today, he was doing a lot more moving around, had a little bit more bounce in his step, because the thing about Boo, bro, he got bounce in his step. And if he's really kind of taken that away from himself because he's having this kind of awkwardness around the team, he's not going to be the same dude. But I just don't see that being the case. I think it may be the case for the next few practices, right? The awkwardness, the people not really vibing with him like that because of this and that and what he's done. But the thing about Boo is we got to let Boo be Boo. And if we don't, then we are better off without him. But I think he'll get that pep back in his step. At least I hope so.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but when Boo got back on the first day of fall camp, he looked like he had put weight on, and not in a good way. I don't know if that ties into him missing the practices and everything else or what, but he just looked heavier in his frame. But it could very well be that, just not preparing in the off season for it. And then he comes in, he's overweight, and he's got to get all that weight off. So now if he sheds that weight and he gets that bounce back, then for sure we'd love to have him. But I mean, you're not going to lose like 10 pounds in a week.
Nah.
Well, Ethan Utley lost 6 pounds in one practice, so it's possible.
It's very possible. Yeah, I mean, it is very possible. It's like, you know, I don't know if you've seen this stuff. Obviously, I don't keep up with Florida players, but obviously he's in the league now. How Tampa Bay will not even let Desmond Watson practice because he's so fat.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's crazy, bro.
Dude, it's like, why would you even draft a guy if you know he's 430 pounds, though?
Man.
Because he ain't going to shed that in one off season.
It's going to take a couple years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I don't even remember what it said they wanted him at. I can't remember. I saw something, but I'm like, dude, he ain't getting there, bro. I mean, I think he can get to 380. If he can get to 380, he'll probably look like a freaking dog at 380.
Oh, yeah. And if you watch his film, I mean, he really didn't do nothing special. He was just a gap filler. Like, you put him in, and then he would move left and move right and try to close the gap. That was really all he was good for.
What was the other big cat that played for New England for so long? He was huge too.
Oh, Vince Wilfork.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing with him though is he was shorter.
Yep.
And he had a little wiggle, but he was still huge like Desmond Watson.
Right.
But the thing about Desmond Watson is like it doesn't help him that he's literally like 6'6". Like, and you're gonna be playing defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? It's like they were talking about the media today, like when David Hobbs met with the media, just talking about how Rodney Garner was like Davin's issue is staying low because he's 6'4", almost 6'5". And his frame is just so big, but his body fits that tackle position in our defensive style. And so his quickness and his strength, I feel like David Hobbs, he might be a problem in 25 for real.
Yeah, for sure he can be. And then you put Moy right next to him, and that's just a wrecking crew.
Everybody said today that Jackson Moy was the hardest person to block.
Oh yeah, because he was probably our best interior defensive lineman last year, if we want to be real. And then you add another year onto that with the chemistry with David, because I don't know if anybody noticed, but when they would rotate in, he was always right next to David, and I feel like they did that on purpose to prepare for this year.
Rodney Garner ain't stupid, man.
Sure.
Rodney Garner is not stupid. Great head coach, or not head coach, but great defensive line coach, and just knows what he wants out of his players. And so now we're going to reap the benefits of that in 2025 because I think this defensive line is better. Now, I am a little worried now. I know that we've said it seems that it's a load management thing with Joshua Josephs. But this is now practice number 3 that he's been out. And I just I don't know. Because I think a few years back when the Cooper Mays had the issue and he ended up getting that quick surgery on that hernia. Remember, he didn't show up and play again till the South Carolina game.
No.
This feels the same exact way. And now we're not saying it's a hernia or anything, but it does seem like it's something that might require like a quick scrape of something, like a quick scraping surgery or some type of procedure that might put him back. I don't like that. I really don't love it per se, but it does give you guys like Jordan Ross and a guy like Caleb Herring a lot of opportunity early to showcase that they truly belong, because Jordan Ross met with the media today and his biggest thing was he wasn't locked in last year. And I think that's because he knew he wasn't going to play much, right? Like, I think he knew last year was pretty much settled. He was a 5-star kind of guy, and he has 5-star gifts and 5-star talent. But I just think that last year was kind of solidified. And I think he knew that. And he even said, like, he just wasn't that locked in. But now he is. And obviously it's because, dude, he's he's got every opportunity in the world to make as much noise as Jordan Ross wants to. And so if Josh Josephs doesn't start the season, I mean, Caleb Herring and Jordan Ross, bro, like that's who you're going to have rotating at that Leo position in the most efficient way, I guess you should say.
Right. And then I don't know if anybody caught it, but not only do we have Herring and Jordan Ross behind them, both going to be pretty dominant if you look at what they've been doing in fall camp, but also on the back end of that Leo position, a guy that a lot of people forgot about is Emmanuel Okoye. And that dude looks like a monster in fall camp right now.
You know who he looks like?
What's that?
He looks like a carbon copy of Jonathan Kongbo.
Yeah.
Literally, Combo was supposed to be like this guy, and he was good. I don't think Combo was bad. I just think that he didn't translate that well into that system. I feel like Combo now with us in this system, he would have been a great fit, but I think he was ahead of his time, I think.
For sure.
And now Okoye literally reminds me of Jonathan Kongbo.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot. And then I'm pretty sure they flipped, was it Kellen Lindstrom? I'm pretty sure he's a Leo now. Yeah. He's got the body type for it. So we have plenty of depth at the Leo spot if Jordan Ross has to take some time.
Josh Josephs.
Or, yeah, Josh Joseph.
But I do want Jordan Ross to play. Adrian in the chat. What's good, Adrian? He says, what's good, family? What's up, y'all? Hey, man, everybody that's watching right now, go ahead and tap into the chat. Any questions you guys have about fall camp, we'll do our best to filter them, talk about it a little bit tonight, man. That's really all we're diving into is just these updates that we have and what the media is kind of saying right now. Going back to the Boo Carter situation deal, like, I'm excited to have him back, but I still have this eerie feeling that this year is still a wash because in December he's going to hit the portal, right? And so I wonder if we're going to get what we need out of him and he sticks and stays. Like, I just don't know where he's at mentally, right? I think physically, like you mentioned, he looked a little bigger. Definitely, I think a lot of it is his muscle mass that's grown, but obviously in the gut, you did see a little difference there. But I think athletically, just watching his tape, watching him from these last two practices, dude, like, he's still Boo Carter. You know what I mean? Like, he's got this thing about him that's just intangibles. Like, you can't teach it. You can't take it away from him. But what type of impact does it make if he's checked out now, right? Like, he's running with the 2s and 3s, like not even running with the starters right now. Like, is that a setback for him, or is he going to turn it in for motivation? Like, I just don't know where he's at. And so for me as a fan, I watch the videos and I see you going through the motions in practice. I'm like, do the other players feel this? Like, I know they have to feel it. And so I'm just in this space where, man, we really want you, dude, to like be a Tennessee Vol. But if you're not going to give your all for Tennessee, like, I'm cool with you bouncing. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's what sucks is it's really up to Boo. Like, we don't really have a say in it. None of the teammates have a say in it. None of the coaches have a say in it. It's all on him. If he wants to make an impact, he's got every opportunity in the world to make an impact on both sides of the ball, to be honest with you. Because we've got a bunch of injuries in the receiver corps too. So, I mean, what's up?
Let's just talk about the injuries. While you're talking about injuries, like, if everybody doesn't know what's going on right now, safety Jordan Thomas is still out. Doesn't look like he's going to play football for Tennessee this year. It also is, just from what I'm hearing under the grapevine, is that he honestly may be medically retiring from football. Don't know when that announcement will be, but he definitely is not going to play for Tennessee in 2025. That's 2 straight years, man. It just sucks because he was a great talent. He got a whole lot of run his freshman, sophomore years. And just you just hate it for a kid like that who truly felt like he was going to make an impact in his Tennessee career. And injuries have just plagued him. Obviously, we talked about the Josh Josephs injury. I feel like it's a little more serious than what we're getting. Miles Kisselman is still in a red non-contact jersey. Mike Matthews was in a red non-contact jersey today, however, was practicing today fully. From what I understand, when they got to team periods, he was a little more limited, but everything, routes on air and things like that, he was good to go. On top of Mike Matthews, then you also still have Chris Brazzell, who has not been practicing that. How can I say this? He's not been out there when the media is there. However, there are things that Brazzell's been working on outside on the edges of the practice field, working on stretching, working on different things. His specific injury is a nagging thing, and it is a load management. Chris Brazzell, if we play tomorrow, I believe he would strap up and play. I don't think there would be an issue with that. I just think that right now he is nursing an injury. They don't want it to get worse, and Brazzell is fine. It's just one of those things. It's a load management thing. Let's see. Brian Grant did not practice today. Christian Gass is still dealing with a nagging little injury. Jermod McCoy obviously is still working through rehab with the ACL. Am I missing anybody? And Braylon Staley did not practice again today. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what is going on with Braylon. It doesn't seem serious. It does seem like another load management thing. It's been wet in Knoxville the last few practices. I don't know if it was something that got tweaked up a little bit that he's just nursing, or if it's one of those things like, hey, they're 2 on 1 off right now. Tennessee's off tomorrow. They'll be back on the practice field Friday, and then they have a scrimmage on Saturday morning. Is this them preparing these guys for scrimmage number 1? Because they really need that run. So, Miles Kistleman's nothing to worry about. Chris Brazel's nothing to worry about. Mike Matthews is nothing to worry about. I think Braylon Staley, Joshua Josephs, those are the guys that you really want to keep your eyes on, and just make sure that it is a load management thing and that this doesn't go to another level where we're down 2 scholarship guys, but 1 in a receiver room where you only have 7 total scholarship guys. So that's kind of your injury report. According to Rocky Top Insider today, it looked like one of the main offensive line rotations, Dylan, from left to right, was Lance Hurd, Wendell Moy, William Satterwright, Jesse Perry, and Big Dave Sanders. Obviously, Sam Pendleton's rotating in at center and guard. I think Jesse Perry is going to be that do-it-all guard for us. And I do believe what you were saying about Bennett Warren. He's going to be that do-it-all tackle, left, right, whichever one we need at the most time. Who do you think rolls out there to start the season?
In this moment, I feel like it'll be Hurd, Pendleton, Satterwhite, Moy, David Sanders. I could be wrong there. If I'm wrong anywhere, I feel like it's the center spot. And if that's the case, they'll just slide Pendleton in and they'll put either Jesse Perry or somebody else on the interior. But it really all just depends on William Satterwhite's development. Because I have heard a lot of good things about him. He did not start off great in the spring, but he picked it up. He's gotten the weight room. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten smarter. Cooper Mays has had great things to say about him. But it all just depends on where he's at the moment.
Right. Let's hit up the chat real quick. The boy Adrian says, any bold predictions this week? I guess I have one. I do think that we're going to know a lot about the quarterback battle after Saturday. I have some stats and some like unofficial stats, I guess, from today that I'll share here in just a few minutes once we get through these questions. But I do think the biggest bold prediction for me is that we'll know who our quarterback is after that Josh Heupel media availability from this scrimmage. I think the language that will be used will determine that. And I also think that it's already kind of slowly starting to separate, even though one of the guys is actually performing well. I think, and I'll explain this in a few. Brian Thomas in the chat. What's up, Brian? Thanks for joining, bro. He says, y'all think Boo will start game 1? Sorry if you already addressed it. No, man, we didn't. And start, no. I don't think he will start against Syracuse. I don't think he'll start against ETSU. I have a hard time thinking that he's going to play a ton of meaningful downs until we get to UGA. Really. I don't think you see Boo Carter a lot against Syracuse unless like somehow those slot receivers are just torching us and we're not in position to make plays, whether that's J-Mac, whether that's William Wright. They said William Wright's been working at the star, whether that's Dylan Lewis, even like whoever they decide to throw at star. Like if that guy and the next guy are getting burnt, I think that's maybe when we'll see a lot of Boo against Syracuse, but I don't think that he will be needed. I don't know how you feel, Dylan.
I'll flip that because I actually think he does start week 1. Because even though you've got the worry about him and miscues and team chemistry, I feel like at the end of the day, Coach Heupel's got to put his coaching hat on. He's got to play his best players. Because, I mean, with the injuries like we talked about, Boo is really the only guy that we got left as far as depth is concerned. I mean, J Mac has been working with Star in Boo's absence, but
Right.
I mean that guy's a corner in my eyes. I don't see
True
him
corner.
playing anywhere else. But I mean, and then you flip to the other side of receiver. I don't know how far along he is as a receiver, but if injuries keep piling up, we're going to have to resort to him one way or another.
Yeah, I do agree. I sit somewhere in the middle, but I do think for some reason I do just have this feeling, man, like the punishment will carry into the season, and it could either hurt or help us. I don't know.
Right.
My man Adrian in the chat as well says this: who do y'all think will start at wide receiver for us? That's easy for me. I think on your outside you're gonna have Brazel and Mike Matthews, and then Braylon Staley's gonna start in the slot.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you.
Unless something wild happens, but pending any injuries, that's your starting wide receiver group for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I will say if Braylon's still hurt, Brad Jackson starts in the slot.
Yeah. Yep. I did hear Amar Jefferson had a really good day yesterday and today.
Yeah.
So that is good that he is carrying on. He hasn't really been able to even learn how to be a college football player since he's been in college, right? So you got a guy who won Mr. Football at Baylor here in Chattanooga, and the dude can play. It's just it's reps, man. It's different. It's different. And so I think for Amari, it's just consistency over time. When y'all talking about earlier about the bold predictions, Brian said this: who would here's another question from Brian. Says, who would be the next receiver in a 4-wide formation? Well, it depends, right? Like I think you got to think about Heupel, right? Typically when we go 11, so if we go 11 personnel, most of the time that's going to be a tight end. So you're going to have a tight end and 3 receivers. They'll split the tight end out wide, even in a trip set. Like they'll go 3-by-1. It'll be 2 receivers, tight end, and on the lone side, it'd be like Brazel. But then if they go dubs on both sides, it could be tight end, receiver, receiver, receiver on the other side, right? But I do think if you go 4 wide, you probably, like you said, Dylan, I mean, who do you want? You go whoever. Go Travis Smith or Brad Jackson. Like, it doesn't really matter. I think it's all about the set. Like, if you're in a stacked formation, you're probably going to want to go with a more either explosive receiver on the back of the stack or a more block-heavy receiver on the front of the stack, right? I don't know if that's Chris Brazel, so I'm thinking Travis Smith or somebody like that in those positions. Even they've put tight ends in the front of the stack before. So, like, it's just all about situations. I think when you go 12 personnel, you're obviously going to have Ethan Davis and Miles Kisselman and then 2 receivers. But if we go 10, Dylan, I mean, I think it's going to be Rad or Travis. Just pick your poison, whoever you want.
Yeah, you can flip either one of them. Because from what I've heard, they've both been doing good in fall camp. No, neither one of them's really separated themselves, I'd say. Yeah. But they're both proven that they were worth going after. So
right. Yeah. So real quick before we answer any more questions, just wanted to give y'all this insight on the quarterback battle and what's going on. I have some unofficial numbers from today. And I kind of just want to go through this, and man, I know we'll probably sit here for 10 minutes and just talk about this battle because, guys, it's closer than we think, but I've got some things that I kind of want to say about it. So, as far as today, these are unofficial completions numbers for routes on air. Jake Merklinger went 11 for 13. Joey was 13 of 16. Just remember that. And then George McIntyre was 9 for 12. Dylan, when you hear those three numbers, what stands out to you?
13 of 16 stands out a lot because at the same time, you gotta take into account, like we said, the injuries and the lack of chemistry that Joey has. So if these are raw numbers and he's coming in with only 2 months in the system with brand new receivers that are already banged up, that it shows a lot that how much experience and how much consistency he has to be able to pick it up that quickly.
I agree. And here's the other thing, guys. Like, when you're in a quarterback battle, the first point of separation is rep count. And by these numbers, Joey got more reps than both of the kids today. And I know it's just by 3 plays, but that is still more reps. This is a separation thing. Like, things are beginning. Okay. Like, that's what it looks like. It's slow. It's gradual. But I think that if all things point to positivity in Joey Aguilar's favor Saturday, I'm telling y'all, the battle will be over. I think that if he is great, the battle will be over Saturday. But if he doesn't have a good day, then we're in a whole nother type of issue. And so that's why I'm like, you can't count GMAC out, because what if George goes out there and just plays free and has a hell of a day? Like, it can happen. And so while George got the frame for a quarterback, but he just don't have the weight right now. Physically, he's not ready to play SEC football. That doesn't mean Heupel won't play him. That's just a thing. And so a couple of more things about it, about the Routes on Air segment. It says that Jake Merklinger was absolutely almost perfect on all of the intermediate stuff. So when we say intermediate, we're talking 10 to 15 yard slants, digs, we're talking comebacks. They said Jake was almost perfect on those, including some really good balls to Mike Matthews. It says, however, the redshirt freshman was just 2 of 4 on deep ball throws. Amari Jefferson did have a drop on one of them, but he also underthrew Rodarius Jackson on a ball that was really bad on a seam route. But it said that Rodarius Jackson caught the ball because that's just the type of dude he is. But it would like, if this was thrown in a game, it was a pick. Okay. On the other hand, it says Joey was a little more inconsistent in the intermediate passing game, which is not something that I'm shocked about, because let's rewind. Hendon Hooker was not great at the intermediate passing game. Go back to 2022, people. What was the one thing that Vol fans complained about? The middle of the field is wide open. The middle of the field, it was, and we couldn't get the ball there. Like, that just wasn't a strength of Hendon Hooker, which is why Heupel has said he's done it with small quarterbacks. He's done it with big quarterbacks. He's done it with white quarterbacks. He's done it with black quarterbacks. He's done it with big arm quarterbacks. He's done it with small arm quarterbacks. Like, Heupel will make the offense flow to whoever he decides is best for that team. So we may not see intermediate balls if Joey's in there. Like Nico was amazing in the intermediate game. That's why you saw a lot of quick things to Dante. And then what did Dante do? He made the play, right? Yep. But it was when you started to see Nico try to stretch the field, it was terrible. Couldn't, dude. I was watching the Mississippi State game today. Man, we should have beat them dudes by. We won like 30. I think we won by like 2 or 3 tutties, three and a half touchdowns. It was not a pretty game. And 5 plays in, we should have had Brew McCoy on a touchdown. And he overthrew it to the back of the end zone because he waited way too long to just let the pill go, right? And so going back to what I'm saying is the intermediate throws, while Joey struggled today on those aren't going to be things to me that Heupel even really wants to do. Heupel had to do that last year because he knew he kind of knew his gunslinger quarterback couldn't make those. He couldn't make the throws. He could make them, but he couldn't complete them. It was just like Joe. We couldn't even do intermediate with Joe when he was here, but now Joe Milton's lighting it up. And so, but anyways, like, don't let what I just said about Joey scare you, because what it says then is, it says, however, I can see why people speak highly of his deep ball, talking about Joey Aguilar. He completed 2 of his 3 deep ball attempts. And the reason he didn't complete the one is because Ethan Davis ran the wrong route. And said that Ablin chewed Ethan Davis after the play. Says that One of Aguilar's balls was to Travis Smith down the right side in stride. This is what Heupel wants.
Yeah.
Because this is what Heupel draws up. Heupel ain't trying to draw up a 20-yard pass. Heupel trying to draw up a 35, 40, 50 ball because we had them all last year, y'all. Like, I'm not lying. I've watched so much film this offseason just to bring good content to the show. I've watched more film than I ever have. Like, more Tennessee film, more Nico film, more running back film. I've watched more film than I ever have this offseason because I wanted to know what the actual heck was going on with us last year. And it was all Nico. It was timing and Nico. The receivers were open. Nico could not hit them. It was timing, and we never got it in sync. And we all were, every Tennessee fan, and you can tell me, you lying if you tell me otherwise. You're like, oh, he's just a freshman. He'll figure it out. That was me. No, bro. This was incompetent quarterback play, and we couldn't make it happen. We should have beat Florida by 4 touchdowns. We should have beat Bama by 2.
Should have beat Arkansas too.
Oh my gosh. Don't even talk about that because on that any given Saturday, that pissed me off watching that again.
You could see it on the Netflix version. They showed the back view of it. Squirrel White wide open, running straight across the end zone.
Anyways, back to this a little bit.
Yep.
It does say this. They only saw one McIntyre deep ball, but it was beautiful. But also said that Jake wore the GoPro today and Joey had it the last 2 practices. The GoPro, what it's doing is allowing the coaches to see a first-person point of view of what the quarterback is seeing in moments. Is he making the right decision? Is he on time? And so it's good that they're both wearing it because it's giving the coaches points of views of each of them so that correction can be made immediately, and they both can get better. Chris Wright in the chat. What's up, Chris? He says George McIntyre is not going to start. He's too small at this point. He would be risking it. I think the same thing, Chris. I really do. I don't think there's a bone in my body that thinks G-Mac will actually play football for Tennessee in 2025. But it's hard for me as well because he is the most talented out of the group, in my opinion. This is my opinion. He has the highest ceiling out of all of them because Dylan and I talked about this the other night on Sunday, I think. Like, you really don't want Jake Merklinger to start this year because if so, you will lose G-Mac or Faison at some point in the portal. I would much rather, and I hate to say it this way, but it's like I'd much rather lose Merk, but like not because I don't like him, but because I think there's a higher ceiling for Faison and for G-Mac. But I do think that G-Mac is talented, and if Heupel thinks he's a guy, Heupel will play him. I really do think that. Adrian Wells in the chat says, bold prediction, 3 SEC coaches will be gone by the season. Brian Kelly, Sam Pittman, and Billy Napier. You're spot on for me, bro. You're spot on.
Who's in there too?
I would put Hugh Freeze in. I do think I think Auburn has the tools. I really do.
Yeah.
I think they got a great class in, but the schedule is not favorable.
Not at all.
Brian says this word on the street is that Hendon Hooker wasn't a good quarterback in practice, but he was a gamer under them lights. I'm hoping that's what we have in Joey Aguilar. It is. It is what you have in Joey Aguilar. If you've ever watched Joey Aguilar's film, he's a play. Like, if you play college football 25, he's the true like playmaker type quarterback archetype. Like, he can make something out of nothing. He's not going to wow you with his speed, but he can go get you 8 to 12 yards anytime you need it. He gonna also try to put his head down, try to run somebody over. But I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna do great things for us this year. Kevin Smith says his side is BS. He has put on the weight. Yeah, he's gained some weight. He's still 6'6", 195 though. That's small.
Yeah, his legs.
Kevin says, so we're going to lose G-Mac. And he says, everyone is stressing over next year. If we seriously think Faison didn't think about that scenario before committing, you're insane. Do what you got to do to win. I get you to a point. I do understand what you're saying. And I think that that's the mode Heupel's in, is win now, right? But I always go back to this, Kevin. If Heupel truly thought Jake Merklinger was ready, why did we go and get Joey Aguilar? Why didn't we go and get like somebody that wasn't a name, like wasn't a starter? Like why didn't we go and get somebody like that? Like, he knew there was a problem at that position. He either needed a guy to push Jake to be better, or he knew that he needed a guy that could help Jake get better while Jake continued to watch. Right? Like, because y'all got to remember, Jake was like a developmental project. He was not like a guy that we were signing to come in and play, like, especially now. Like, even though he was a 4-star, but he was like a developmental 4. It wasn't like a Rad Jackson or a Travis Smith, like, play now 4. It was like hey, I like what he did his senior year. He kind of seems like he'll fit in this offense. Let's see if he can develop into something special.
For sure.
I don't think
you have to remember too that we're still on a timetable where in Josh Heupel's head, Nico should still be here. We're supposed to have a franchise guy right now.
Right.
And now that some time's passed, I can say this, but whenever we were looking for a quarterback in the portal, we had the opportunity to take a backup guy that didn't really have the stats, but we could have got him easily, and that was Steve Angeli at Syracuse. We were linked to him a lot. I know that we had conversations with him behind the scenes, and coaching staff wasn't impressed. They passed on him. And then Joey came available, and we got him. So that should tell you a lot about Joey Aguilar and what they see in him compared to everyone else that was in the portal at that point.
Yeah, and you know, you heard all the stuff about Josh Hoover and Avery Johnson. Like, none of that was authentic. Like, I think that if we really, really wanted to make strides and get those guys, they would be Vols. But again, Heupel is thinking about the future. Like, we have to play while you have to play to win now, right? You're coming off a college football playoff berth. You want to play to win now, but you still have to think about the future. And you've promised Faison Brandon a lot, I'm sure. You've promised the kid a lot. And you may have not promised him playing time, but you promised him a shot. And so I think that is why you go and get a 5th-year guy who's 24 years old, just like Hendon Hooker was. And you let him rip, man, and see if he can make a run at the NFL. Because Hendon Hooker was not going to the NFL before Josh Heupel.
No, he wasn't getting out of Virginia Tech without Josh Heupel.
No. And again, y'all got to remember, Hendon Hooker was signed to Pruitt. And he stuck through it. And Heupel took him to the promised land. So I just trust Heupel, man. Like, whatever Heupel's thinking, I trust it. And he's got a great credibility out there in the college football landscape of things. People think Josh Heupel's a great head coach. I've never heard David Pollock, a Georgia fool, say how good of a coach Josh Heupel was. Greg McElroy's giving Josh Heupel his flowers. These are guys who have all played the game. They know that the guy can coach. So we just got to let this ride, man. Just let it ride out. And I think on Saturday, we're going to know a whole lot. And we'll be able to talk a whole lot more about what's coming this 2025 season. So
for sure. Just got to stick to our guns and wait it out.
I just need Saturday to come on. That's all I need.
I feel you.
That's all
like
I need.
Butterflies, and you still
it's
know,
like
but you need to know.
Yeah, and there's no media availability, right? Like, there's the media won't be watching the game, none of that. So it's I need some answers.
Yep,
that's what I need. I need some answers, bro.
Right. Somebody got to fly a drone over Neyland on Saturday night and figure something out.
Quite literally. Oh man. Well, dude, let's do this draft, dude. Let's think about this. So, what y'all don't know, man, here for the last 10 minutes or so, So what we're gonna do, man, we're gonna take the last 25 years from 2020 to now, and y'all keep asking questions, man. We'll stop doing this, man. We'll answer these questions. If everybody that's watching, man, we will keep the freaking questions flowing and answer them all, and forget the draft if we need to. But because right here, Brian Thomas in the chat says, do y'all think there's a possibility that UNC joins the SEC within the next 5 years? Makes sense to me considering the Belichick hire. I'm gonna just tell you, Belichick only took this job so that his son could get a head start. If y'all don't know, Bill Belichick's son is the offensive coordinator there. Is that right?
Defensive
coordinator. He only took this job, y'all, to get his son in position to take over. Bill Belichick probably gonna be there 2 years, maybe.
No. For those of you who don't know, he has an out after year one in his contract, and he gets paid the full contract amount.
There you go.
That's all I needed to read. I'm like, yep.
He just did this to get his son a shot at being a head coach, man, for sure. I knew that, but that even makes more sense now. So
for sure.
Okay, so from 2000 to 2025. We're taking a quarterback, 2 running backs, a tight end, and 2 receivers. We can crisscross. Like, I don't care if we even pick the same type of roster. Like, I don't care. I don't think it has to be like you pick this one dude. Well, I was thinking about the same dude. Nah, like we can just pick it.
Right.
But who would you take in your quarterback spot?
Quarterback. I mean, you gotta look at the last 25 years, and it has been messy for quarterbacks. There's 2 guys that immediately come to mind. One is the obvious, and that's Hendon Hooker. The other one's Casey Clausen. I'm pretty sure he barely fits in there. He was like 2000, 2001, right?
Hey, he fits.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take Hendon though. Hendon was just, you could tell when the lights came on, he was go from snap to snap.
Who is Brady? Oh, this man. No. We're talking Tennessee history, not NFL. Not NFL. Not Tom Brady, because of course, I mean Tom Brady. But no. Tennessee from 2020 to 2025. Y'all know who my favorite ball quarterback is, bro. It's Tyler Bray. But I'm not gonna pick Tyler Bray here. I think for this instance, for nostalgia, I'm gonna go Josh Dobbs. I think Dobbs was so underutilized in those Butch offenses. Like, we used his legs and we never really developed him as a quarterback.
Yep.
And so I think the NFL has done a good job of developing Josh in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take Dobbs right now.
I like it.
My first runner. Go ahead.
He kept Butch a job for a season too long, so
bro, he sure did. God,
come on. And if they would have developed him, because I've seen him play in the NFL now in his little bounce around spots, he's got a deep ball now. Imagine if he had that when he was down here,
bro.
Man,
it would have been showtime, bro. Showtime.
Sure.
My first running back. I don't remember who I was talking to on the phone about this, but I feel like I have to pick the same person. I'm going to take Cedric Houston.
Okay. I like that.
Cedric Houston was a dog, man. And I love Travis Stevens and I love Travis Henry, but they were like right out of the 2000s. And so, man, Cedric Houston and Gerald Riggs, bro. God almighty. Bro, 2,000-yard rushers in a season. Wait, we've never done that before, except for those guys.
Yeah, no.
So I'm gonna take Cedric Houston on my first one.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. I'm gonna just go off statistics, because if he would have stayed one more year, he would have had the career rushing record for Tennessee. But I'm gonna go Jalen Hurd here. Yeah,
Jay Hurd.
Because I know a lot of people were talking about like Man, imagine if Alvin Kamara got some more snaps. But people forget Jalen Hurd was a dog down
He was
here.
one of them ones. Brian
Absolutely.
Jamal Lewis was drafted in 2000 to the Ravens. He was drafted, I think, in the 5th round to the Ravens, I think, in 2000. So, yeah, bro. Jalen Hurd was one of them ones. But I'm going to take his counterpart as my RB2, Alvin Kamara.
I like it.
I'm gonna take Alvin Kamara because I just think about Alvin Kamara in Josh Heupel's offense. Oh my God, bro. What in the world would we have had then?
It would have been special. But I would argue that we've already had an Alvin Kamara in Josh Heupel's offense. And that's
We
with my
have.
pick, Dylan Sampson.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he showed that he can do it all. He can catch it out of the backfield. He can lower his shoulder if he has to. He showed that if you just put him in as a third down back, he can still take a rock and go 70 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah,
And then he showed last year that he can be that bell cow for us as well. So you got everything all in one package with D-Samp.
I agree. He was a dog. Go ahead. Your go.
What we doing?
Wide receiver number 1.
Receiver 1. When you talk about a guy that just turned around his entire career and a guy that was on not a great path, but then he ended up getting his head on straight, putting the work in, coming to work, and then he goes to the NFL, and then he's almost a Super Bowl MVP last year or the year before. It's Juwan Jennings, man, because he didn't have a whole lot of practice as a receiver either. Not a lot of people know that. He was a quarterback, and for him to come in and for him to put his head down and put in the work, regardless of what happened off the field, you got to respect that for him.
I respect it. Derek, all of y'all in the chat taking my people, man. My pick is Robert Meacham, bro. Robert Meacham was I just remember watching that number 3 jersey just running up and down the field all the time. And I remember, bro, he was there with Swain. And Jason Swain, I've heard Swain say so much that Meacham was better than him. He was like, he wasn't more skilled, he wasn't more like physically sound, but he was so much better than Jason Swain even was. And that's what Swain has said. And he's like, and it hurts me to say that. He was like, but Meacham was better. And dude, Robert Meacham was one of them ones, bro. He was godly.
Sure.
If I had to take my wide receiver 2, this is a pure fanboy pick because I feel like I wish we had this dude for more years, bro. Cordero Patterson, bro, was oh my God, explosive. He was so special. He wasn't a great wide receiver, like by any means, but when you're talking about a fantasy draft, that's the type of dude that you want on your team, bro.
For sure. He can get you receiving yards, rushing yards, and a punt return touchdown if you need it.
Crib every time.
For sure. He was an all-around athlete. But I'm actually going to go another direction with my second receiver, and I feel like it might shake some heads, but when you think about elite wide receivers, you think about size and you think about speed.
Yeah.
Okay. My pick, I would argue, had he been healthy, his entire career here would have been one of the best receivers that we have had come through here in the last 25 years.
Let me guess. Marquez North. Those Justin Hunter.
Nope.
Oh, I don't know. Then I don't know.
I'm talking about 6'5", 4.43 speed starter
Preston
for the
Williams?
Las Vegas Raiders. No, Dante Thornton Jr., bro. That's who I'm talking about. Because if he would have been healthy, and I know people get on to him for the drops, blame Kelsey Pope. But anyway, that dude is a monster, and don't let nobody tell you otherwise.
If y'all haven't seen, Cedric Tillman and Dante Thornton both are listed as wide receiver number 1s for the Cleveland Browns and the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. It's been a hard day for the Tennessee doesn't develop receivers group.
Yeah, yeah. Or they have a very limited route tree. Well,
Right.
they're starting in the NFL, so tells you all you need to know, Bubba Bear.
For
And
real.
then go ahead with your tight end.
My tight end, I feel like this is a pretty obvious pick, but I got Jacob Warren. I mean, he wasn't the best statistical tight end. He wasn't the best blocker. He wasn't the best really at anything. But the guy was loyal. He stayed through Pruitt. He stayed through Heupel. He saw the very lows and the highest of highs.
He
Might not have been like the guy, but he was always a guy, and he fit into the puzzle perfectly every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that pick. This is another one for me that's just a fan. Maybe a look, they dogging you in the chat. Warren, huh? Huh? Jason
I mean,
Witten?
how many? Yeah, Witten's fair for sure.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of Jason Wittens. I was a Jason Witten fan, but mine is a little left field because I don't know if a lot of people will remember him, but this dude was a end zone nightmare for us, bro. Back in the 2000s, frame was great. I felt like another thing, man. He dealt with injuries which limited his career. Michael Rivera,
Yeah,
was a
Rivera
boy,
nice.
dude. He was
nice.
so good. Him and Luke Stalker were playing off of each other a lot.
Ooh, I forgot about Stalker. Yeah, that's a good one too.
He was good too. Oh, Matt said no, not dogging. He actually agrees. Okay. He agrees with you about
sure.
old Jacob Warren.
I guess I
Yeah.
just blanked on like every tight end we've had for the last 25 years.
Yeah, because it's not been a position that we utilized well.
Not really, no. Because like I started thinking tight ends, and my head went to like Ethan Wolf. I'm like, what are we doing?
You remember the hype, bro? Tell me this before we wrap, bro. You remember the hype about Dominic Wood Anderson?
Barely, but I do remember a little bit.
It was Pruitt year. Hey, that's real. Princeton Fant was a utility kind of tight end. Dude was playing running back for us, bro. Like dude was scoring rushing. Dude was scoring rushing touchdowns for us, bro. Like Fant was one of them ones, man. So
for sure.
Yeah, the hype around Dominic Wood Anderson was wild. And that boy was not one of them ones. So
no.
Now he did have Jared Garantano trying to throw him the ball. So I mean that could be an issue. But it is what it is. We're not here to dog JG. Respect and love JG. Get back to Knoxville, man. Keep hanging, keep getting around the team. It's crazy, man. Last year was the first time he went back to Knoxville since he left.
That's wild. Because that's been what, 6 years now?
And he loves Knoxville. It was one of those things, man. Like, didn't produce and people hated him for it. And so I think you grow out of it and you come to appreciate what he was able to do while he was here. Because I still think about that Auburn game a lot.
Yeah.
That was his like, all right, I really don't suck at football moment.
Right.
You know?
And you just got to keep in mind the supporting staff he had around him at the time, too. Because looking back, Pruitt was an idiot, bro. And I remember hearing stories that Chaney would get a call down to the field, and Pruitt would jump on the headset and override it. I forgot what game it was exactly, but we were on the goal line about to win the game, and Chaney sent a play down, and Pruitt said, "No, we're running this." And it was something else. And JG ended up throwing a pick six, and it was all because of a play that we had not practiced because Pruitt wanted to run it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Oh, man. But y'all, man, thank you for everybody who tapped in with us tonight, man. It was a great episode. If you didn't catch it from the beginning, go ahead, rewind once the show's over, man, and watch it, comment, like, subscribe, join the channel, man. Hop in the Discord with us. We will be live on Sunday night. Next week, we'll have kind of a little different schedule. I'm doing some traveling for work. So we will go live on Sunday. We will not have a Wednesday show as of right now. That show may end up being either Thursday or we'll just go Sunday to Sunday. And then we'll get back on topic because guess what, y'all? That next Sunday, August 18th, we got football that Saturday, bro.
Yes,
We got
sir.
football that Saturday. August 17th is the Sunday, I guess. But so we'll be back on that Wednesday. We'll be back on Sunday the 17th. So we'll be live on Sunday, this Sunday. Then we'll be back on the 17th, and then we'll do the 20th. And then the very next week is game week. And y'all already know, man, game week, we back. We won't do a Sunday show. We'll go live on Monday night for the Who is Syracuse show, where we dive into our scout work, talk about Syracuse, talk about Fran Brand, talk about Fran Brown, talk about this offense, what they like to do, what they're going to try to do to exploit Tennessee. Then on Wednesday night, we'll be live for our midweek chat. And then Friday, you'll get a pre-recorded video, man, of the One More Day episode, which is our episode where we dive into pump the gas, hit the brakes. We go through the entire SEC slate that week and just kind of pick the games, what we think is going to happen. And then we talk about our playmakers of the game, and we pick our final score for Tennessee and Syracuse, y'all. So y'all just, look, let's answer this before they bounce. Brian Thomas says, what coach are you drafting? Fulmer or Heupel? You know what, man? I'm drafting Dooley. I'm kidding. I'm probably taking Heupel just so I can have that offense.
For sure. I'll throw you another curveball. Give me Kiffin.
Yeah. Don't say it too loud though, because people gonna start hating.
I already know.
But y'all, look, man, we can't wait, man. Thank you guys for being on tonight. We'll be back live on Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. Until then, man, if we have any major updates with practice, be on the lookout for quick videos from us. We will drop those. But till then, man, for my guy Dylan, it's your boy Ruck in the building, and y'all already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you live on Sunday night.